It is now time, ladies and gentlemen, to hear from the man of the moment.
The Mahatma Gandhi's idea that wealth must be for the people and there must be a trusteeship to it is something which I've believed in very strongly. There is just so much a family or an individual can consume. And ultimately, if people are very wealthy, they have to have a certain trusteeship for that wealth and use it for the public good. That is very, very important. And I would endure everyone here with massive wealth to be willing to devote a part of that, a substantial part of that, for the public good. The more I get involved, and I've been particularly more involved in philanthropy in the past 1 year, the more I realize how much more complex doing philanthropy initiatives is as compared to running a business. Issues are much more subtle, convictions are much more difficult to drive home, and the incentivization which you give people is not in money. It is in recognition, it is in the challenge, and in the appreciation for the work which they are doing for social service. Our success in business has taught us many things, but on social issues, we have to all start afresh. We have to be prepared for the processes of consensus, development, of discovering of a large complexity in execution, and deeply conflicting but equally valid demands, very often not even knowing the next step forward. We do learn and we will contribute, but we need much more patience and humility than in business. Third, we have to trust the common people of the country. Let me take an example. In my 20 years of work in education, I have realized that teachers who are often blamed in the government sector for being callous, for not caring for their jobs, for being derelictions of duties, are the most committed people I have come across. Like in any industrial distribution, 20% of the people are people we should not be having. That happens in a company, that happens in the teachers. But 80% of the teachers in our experience are devoted, and 20% of them are outstanding. They put in much more work than we find our people put in our own company. And we are reasonably competitive as a company. We have workshops for them which take place on a Sunday. They come for these workshops at their own cost and are there on a Sunday, 4 hours, 5 hours, once a month. It is impossible for us in WIPRO to get people to come for training on a Sunday or a Saturday. And that's a reality. People expect to be having training on a Monday through a Friday. And there's these teachers who everyone mudslings at, who are willing to do this. Why? They're doing it because they want to do their job better. They're doing it because they want to teach the children better. And they're doing it not for the sake of expecting any promotions for it, because promotions don't take place in government. Real changes take place when the front line changes. And for that to be effective, one has to empower people. I think that's absolutely fundamental to change, empower people. And then you will see change which lasts and which is really integrated to the system. This is the 150th year of the birth of Mahatma Gandhi. There is still much to learn from him for all of us. In addition to the idea of trusteeship, I think we can learn a lot more from the life of the Mahatma. This may be particularly relevant to all of us who are leaders in our own right. Let us take just one aspect, which I will call moral leadership. How is it that one man could sway and influence hundreds of millions of people to action while holding no formalized power position? Part of this answer lies in the Mahatma's moral leadership, which millions followed, not requiring any power to sway them. The moral leadership was the result of three interlinked aspects of his behavior. First was his relentless and uncompromising pursuit of the truth, however difficult, however challenging, and however threatening it could be. Personally threatening. Discovering new aspects of truth that challenged his previous beliefs, he was ever ready to change and modify his stand and accept that he had been wrong in a certain viewpoint. It takes a rare amount of courage for a man in his position to accept that he has been wrong. Second was the importance he gave to means over ends. We have witnessed this again and again in his life, and even the most cherished time of independence for our country could not justify the means that were at odds with the unshakable belief in non-violence. His actions always made crystal clear the importance of ethics, of weighing means over ends, and of doing the right thing always. Third was quite simply his innate empathy and humaneness. His devotion to the weak and poor is too well known to bear any repetition. His efforts to unite India, cutting across every caste, every creed, was possible because of this strong conviction which he carried throughout his life. But even more telling was his ability and commitment to see and draw from the best of even his adversaries. At the core of this was his empathy towards all, not only towards his fellow human beings, but also towards animals, towards nature, and all that animated from the universal life of force. With this timely pursuit of truth, the importance of means over ends, and the empathy for all living matter embodied in his person and lived every day in the public eye, he did not seek power over people, but it was this that gave him the moral leadership over the people. The people recognized in him a beacon, an ideal, a leader who were inspired to follow. Those of us who had the privilege to be in leadership roles will realize that the power of position diminishes with time, whereas moral leadership endures indefinitely. I truly believe that all of us have a duty to contribute to society. Practice of moral leadership will help us in this, as it will also help us in business. We need to work together to develop the India that we have envisioned in our Constitution, an idea that is equitable, humane, and sustainable. I thank you again for giving this honor of bestowing this award on me. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your very incisive views and thoughts which you shared with us, and for just being you. Ladies and gentlemen, we're also extremely grateful to our distinguished dignitaries, Mr. Vagul, Mr. M.M. Murugappan, and Mr. Kirloskar, for offering their felicitations on this momentous occasion. We're also indebted to the BLA Selection Committee, comprising of Mr. Ratan Tata, Chairman Emeritus, Tata Sons Limited, Ms. Arundhati Bhattacharya, former Chairman, State Bank of India, Mr. R. Seshasai, Vice Chairman, Hinduja Group, Mr. M.M. Murugappan, Executive Chairman, Murugappa Group, and Mr. Sunil Kant Munjal, Chairman, The Hero Enterprise. We are fortunate that Mr. Murugappan was able to represent the committee today, as the others were unfortunately unable to make it due to prior engagements. We would now like to thank our dignitaries for taking the time out to be here with us on this special occasion. May I request Mr. A. Krishnamurthy, Chairman of Amalgamations Group, to present a little something to remember the occasion by, a memento to first Mr. Vagul. Next to Mr. M.M. Murugappan. And now to Mr. Kirloskar. Thank you, sir. Thank you, gentlemen, once again for taking the time out to be here with us. Thank you, sir. Deloitte, our consultant for the award, has put together an excellent process for selecting the awardee, which made the job of the distinguished selection panel much easier. May I now request Ms. Malika Srinivasan to please step forward and present a memento as a token of our appreciation to Mr. Kumar Kandaswamy, partner, Deloitte, and Mr. P.S. Iswaran, partner, Deloitte. Excuse me. And now to deliver the formal vote of thanks, I'm going to call upon Group Captain R. Vijay Kumar, retired VSM Executive Director, Madras Management Association, recipient of the Vishish Seva Medal from the President of India, under whose dynamic leadership MMA has been selected the AIMA's Best Management Association in India for 10 years in a row, from 2008 to 18. I give you Group Captain R. Vijay Kumar, Executive Director, MMA.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's indeed a proud moment and great honor for me to be here to deliver the formal vote of thanks. And this is the third occasion of Amalgamation Leadership Award, which I am blessed to associate, first being the Sunil Bharati Mittal, then Mr. Ratan Tata, today the great Azim Premji. There are so many people who made this award function a grand success. First, Mr. Azim Premji, for so kindly accepting the award today and did the honor for the award being there, and also delivered the Anantharamakrishnan Memorial Lecture. A thought-provoking address today kindled the thought process of many. I am quite sure many of you today who are present here, your takeaway will be such that we are going to continue to contribute to the society, which needs a lot of contribution to people like you who are here today. Thank you so much, sir. Your presence really added tremendous honor to us today. Mr. Vagul, former chairman of ICICI Bank, when we requested him, he readily agreed. And Vagul is a well-wisher. He was associated with the award for so many years. He knows the award very well. And his presence added tremendous value for being there, because we all look up to him with reverence, because last week when I spoke to him, he mentioned that he goes to Kriya University to attend regular classes even today. That shows you have to be a lifelong learner, and your presence and your delivering the felicitation today is a great honor to us, sir. Thank you so much. Mr. M. Murugappan, well-wisher of MMA, always there for MMA to help us, and we requested him to join the jury. He joined us, and today also he joined offer the felicitation in spite of his commitment to travel out of station. And his presence as a jury added tremendous value because it set the right tone and also made the process very easy. Mr. Murugapan, thank you so much for your presence today. We are indeed grateful to you. Mr. Vikram Kirloskar, President of CII and Chairman of MD Kirloskar System, come all the way from Bangalore to be with us this evening and offer his felicitation. That also added tremendous value for us, and we look forward to seeing you more in MMA, sir. We are going to invite you for major events, which I am quite sure are going to come to us. Thank you so much for your presence. Mr. Krishnamurthy, Chairman, who has been a great source of inspiration for us, always guided us when we go to him about the proposal and getting the process done. He is one person who said process-driven, what should be done, and always its humility and make us do the work was so easy, and that made the award process so simpler and so nice. And Mr. Krishnamurthy, you are a source of great inspiration for us, and thank you so much for being a source of guide to us, sir. And next person, Mr. Mallika Srinivasan, what to say about her? She's one of the one who is always behind MA for everything. She's the one who drives us to do it. In fact, I can say she's utterly who pumps us to do whatever we are doing, because she's one person whom we always look up to, a reverence, perfectionist, and if the event is not going to happen this way, I think it doesn't happen. Thank you, madam. You have been a great source of inspiration. Your guidance really made us do all that. And panel of jury, very high-profile panel, Chairman Ratan Tata, you all heard before, Sheshai, Mr. Munjal, Mr. M. Murugapan, and former Chairman of State Bank of Arundhati. Such a high-profile jury to get the whole process done. It went like meticulously because the jury had been so magnanimous to allot the time to go through the process, and because and also select the awardee today. They are also feel privileged to select the awardee today, and we are indeed thankful to the distinguished jury. And Deloitte, both Mr. Kumar and Ishwaran, without your thing, we wouldn't have put the process the way as efficient as it should be done. And I know a team of 15 professionals worked so hard for a period to shortlisted candidates, analyze them, and put to the jury. It made the jury so simple. Thank you, Kumar and Ishwaran, for your support. Team MMA and Team TAFE and Team Amalgamation Group, they have been a great source of support to us, especially Team TAFE, Sunita and his team from there, Balaji, and also from Amalgamation Group, Mr. Ramachandran and Jaykumar, who have been always with us whenever we wanted something. There's no hesitation to support us. Thank you, big thank you. You made this event a grand event and success. My team from MMA Secretariat, they have been working for the last 6 months tirelessly to make this event a grand success. And big thank to my team. I think without them, I don't think we would have achieved all the accolades. What I'm getting, they are the people who are responsible for it. I can tell you, Team MMA, you are the best. Then Show Space for putting this event together and creating this place so beautiful, befitting the occasion. Thank you, Show Space. And most importantly, the past presidents and members of MMA Managing Committee, without whose support, I don't think we would have traveled so far.